Good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. We have another edition of Hong Kong House of Cards. Tonight, the Prince has called for certain members of the city to report to Elysium. And we have a new, maybe one or two new people as well. At the Elysium is the home of the deceased sheriff, Julian Elvistago Plateada de Montano. And anybody who enters is greeted, of course, by the keeper, Alice Cuthbert, of Clan Venture. Go ahead and start off introductions as you would like.
Well, Becca will be there sitting at the head of the table. I don't know what it looks like, so I'm going to assume there's a table. She looks more than slightly annoyed and very displeased. She waits for everybody to arrive.
I guess I'll go ahead and get some of these NPCs out of the way. I have not played the harp game forever. I can't remember what her flippin' name is.
Michelle LaBelle.
Yeah, Michelle LaBelle, who is a regular harpy in her own right, personality-wise, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Will arrive about the same time as the prince. She will take her designated seat at the table and wait for the proceedings to begin. Eric West will also arrive. He will hang mostly around the keeper, assisting the keeper in making sure things are taken care of as court gets underway.
Keeper, of course, is on her Bluetooth headset. He's walking around, making sure everything's secure, perimeter, and all sorts. Sandy Johnson will walk in, looking very upset. Like, probably more upset than Becker is. Literally about to blow red steam out of his ears. He'll pace against the wall, constantly looking around, like he expects something to jump out of the walls and kill him.
Maybe will have arrived around the same time as everyone else, and he will just be in his coat and everything. His board should he use it. This is big too well, you never know.
I could only catch about half of that.
He will have arrived around the same time as everybody else with cloak, sword, everything. Or hopes he doesn't need to use it, but he will be watching everyone very carefully.
Right.
Yes, Adriana walks in, and sorry, I guess Adriana walks in wearing her specialist attire outfit with one of those little masks around her face, whatever it's called.
Well, having found his way to this Elysium, Tristan will stroll in. He's got walks with like a traditional gentleman's cane. He's well dressed in a suit coat, and real clean cut button down vest underneath the coat. It's a longer suit coat. He's got a broadsword and a cavalry saber hanging at his hips, as well as a couple of what actually look like basically modified dueling pistols designed to accept modern cartridges.
As you walk in, this blonde woman will walk over to you, tapping on her thing. Your name and your clan, please.
Says, "Why, certainly, my good lady. I am Tristan Alexander Matterton, Clan Toreador. Recently arrived to the city."
Oh, your clanmate is you have a clanmate who's Harpy in the city. I'm sure she'll be more than happy to meet you and talk to you about certain things going on as well. Please look for Michelle LaBelle. She will be your representative to the Primogen Council, as well as because there is no Primogen for Toreador for some reason. As well as
a lot of them are doubled up out of character.
Yeah,
There
that's
was
what I
no
thought.
Toreador NPCs.
Yeah, that's
PCs.
She will be a representative to the Primogen Council, as well as the recorder of your status. There is a matter of business going on tonight. However, I believe getting you acknowledged by the Prince should not require too much time afterwards. If you would care to take a seat, help yourself to any refreshment that may be lying about. Try not to be a fuck up and try not to hurt anything. You didn't bring a werewolf with you, did you?
Fucking shit.
I did not. I unfortunately have not yet found any hounds worth collaring.
Well, try to keep that attitude away from the Garu, and don't bring them to Elysium. Please don't be a fuck up. And Alice will just walk off, talking
Don't
into her
forget
ear.
his weapons, Mrs.
Oh,
Elysium.
did you? Oh, that's right. She'll come back real quick. You didn't bring any. This is an actual Elysium. You didn't actually bring weapons with you, did you?
Well, I assume there was a security locker or some such. Otherwise, I can certainly leave them in my vehicle. But
Well, there is a security locker, yes, of course. She'll snap a finger, and a guy will walk over wearing a paramilitary uniform.
okay.
I will relieve you of your weapons, good sir.
He has the saber and broadsword are on one belt. He's got basically a second belt with the pistol holsters, and then he also has up inside his inside the suit coat, like basically almost like inner pockets, are a pair of short swords that he'll take out in sheaths and turn those over as well.
He'll take them all. You certainly come prepared for battle. That's not necessarily a bad thing in the city. I'm sure your clanmate will keep you apprised as to what's going on. At which point he'll walk off and stores weapons with everybody else's. Everybody that showed up with weapons that would have them relieved. And at that point, Cuthbert will show you to where the main sitting area is. It was a fairly large house for Hong Kong, still opulently designed. You will notice an absolute lack of mirrors.
Okay.
But you'll be led to the large banquet hall, banquet room that was a banquet room. It's now serving as main Elysium.
Okay.
Alice will then send a message text message to Becker saying, there's a Tristan Alexander Matterton of Clan Toreador that requests recognition within the city. I've instructed him to speak to Miss LaBelle. Of course, this can all wait until after your business with the usurpers.
She'll check her phone and text back, thank you, thank you, Keeper.
Tristan, he's got a messenger bag that has like books and a couple of leather-bound journals, so he'll kind of sit down, pull out one of the journals and a charcoal pencil. Assuming there's some sort of seating along the wall or something out of the way.
Yeah, there's a big table in the center, and then there's numerous seats around the way. You'll see, just because this is one of the first actual formal gatherings in Elysium, the Gangrel Primogen will be in attendance, as will the Malkavian Primogen. Samuel Judah, who is hugging a teddy bear.
All right. At this time, Becca will get to her feet and look at the people she had requested to show up.
Did she actually,
And
just out of curiosity, Julia, did you actually ask for Etrigan to show up?
she has no way of contacting him.
Well, no, did you tell Mask to tell him to show up?
Hold on, let me check the... In the last scene that I was in with Adriana, I told her to give him acknowledge. She didn't care what way they did that.
Alright. Which Mask would have then reported into you. Because Etrigan is already acknowledged, I've extended him his recognition of his acknowledgement in the city. Due to his circumstance, it's not recommended he actually show up in Elysium, and any mention of his name be quashed.
Is there a reason for this, or...
I actually now know why the Tremere never brought him forward. He's being hunted by Ferox.
That is
Do you want to roll
wonderful.
your Tremere lore or your Cam lore on that?
Sure.
Tremere lore would probably be the easiest.
Yeah.
Hmm. Six, maybe?
Yeah.
1 or 2.
That's 2. Out of character, do you know who Ferox is, Julia?
I've heard the name, but I don't remember.
Ferox is number 4 on the red list. One of the worst of the anathema. He was put on the red list by Clan Tremere after he murdered multiple members of that clan in cold blood. Ferox, when Ferox showed up and said that, and brought news that the Gargoyle clan actually existed and that he was demanding their release, there were a few gargoyles that, after the proclamation that said that they were all free, that chose to remain among them. Anyone that's hunted by Ferox, he'll find out and he'll kill them, and he'll tear the city apart trying to find them.
So Clan Tremere brought more danger to my domain and failed to tell me.
To be fair, this was probably the best location to send him.
And failed to tell me.
Would you have if you had a person in your domain that was being hunted openly? Not even a member of your domain, a member of your actual clan.
I follow the traditions to a T.
I am just giving you a devil's advocate. To be fair, Etrigan has actually helped out my clan in the past.
So, Mr. Johnson.
Sandy will stand up and look over. Yes, Prince Becker?
Did you know of this individual?
Yes, Prince Becker. We thought it was best for him to be here away from the rest of civilized Camarilla society.
And how long has he been in my domain without my knowledge?
Since it was not your domain.
So you failed not 1 but 2 princes.
No, Mildred was aware. She just didn't bring it up.
You just failed me.
Let me ask you something. Just personally, Prince Becker, let's say that this gets out past all the best encryptions and all the best not supposed to let anybody know about this stuff in the city existing, and the person in question gets known to the person that's hunting him. Tell me, are you prepared to fight off something that's so powerful that it could rip the city apart and not care?
I have faced these circumstances before, Mr. Johnson. If you would like to look at my records, you will see that I take every care in protecting those of my domain. However, I cannot protect those I don't know about.
And your protection wouldn't be needed if his secret was kept. When an anathema is hunting you, there's no safe place in the world, really.
And Blanchard thought we should make this place a little less safe.
As I said, this was all done before any member of the Camarilla arrived, besides our clan.
Well, we see how capable your clan is.
We're not the ones who let him out, or espoused who he was to the world. And he'll look at Adriana, and if not for who your sire was, he would never have left the chantry.
Mr. Johnson, need I remind you what my position is outside the city?
Yes, I'm aware of what your position is outside the city.
Then you understand what my job is outside the city?
Yes, but I don't see your boss coming in to save the day.
I had not planned on calling him in. I plan to protect every member of this domain to the best of my ability.
If I may, it wouldn't have been a problem if you had just informed me that, hey, Etrican can't be available for what you needed him for.
At this point, I'm going to actually have to spend willpower for Sandy. And Sean, you need to have Michelle LaBelle roll her cam lore.
Sure, going for it. Wait, that's not going to be on her sheet. You want to just assume a generic 5 dice?
Yeah, because this is something. As Harpy, if you do not have cam lore, you're a useless Harpy.
Oh yeah, you're fucking useless indeed. 2 successes, good.
Okay, the name Etrigan rings a bell. This is the guy that basically said the gargoyles will remain with Clan Tremere to protect them, and Ferox said, "Fuck you, I'm gonna kill you if I ever find you again."
You guys hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
Just explain stuff to Sean. It's okay.
What'd you say?
I'm slightly drugged and on cold medicine. So, I told you guys I wouldn't be the best night to do this.
I couldn't think of another night to do it. Oh,
So,
sorry.
If you gave me the reward what I was saying, I could totally do that. I wasn't paid.
At this point, LaBelle would speak up. Is there not a way in which the Clan Tremere could not have informed the prince while keeping the matter in secrecy? The name of the individual could have been left unaccounted for. It's simply the circumstances. I'm sure, and he would turn. She would turn to Prince Becker. Would keep the matter a matter of need to know.
It wouldn't be the first time had this clan actually trusted me.
Hey, it's not my fault.
Because
Not your... You lied to me. My face.
I told you the truth too. Like, I'm so tired right now. I don't. Sorry, guys. Okay. Okay.
John, at this point, Primitive Johnson will step forward. I'm going to accept full responsibility on this. Any punishment that you levy, will you levy against me alone? It was my fault that this happened, even though the elders of my clan decided to send Etrigan here. I should have informed you. However, given the sensitive nature of him, even having his name spoken in public or in private could reach the person in question. As I said, we're dealing with an anathema here, one that decimated havens of my clan. And I'm not lying about this, one who actually wields the power of faith as a weapon.
The only person who mentioned his name in public would be a member of your clan.
I know,
And
that's one
I am the prince of this domain. You do not get to tell me what punishments I see fit or who to put them on.
As Primogen, it is logical that I am the target of your punishment, not the rest of my clan.
And, Ms. Becker, it is also pertinent that he can make suggestions. The Primogen Council sets as your advisory board on how to handle matters of your domain.
And had he phrased this as a suggestion, I would be a little bit more hospitable to the idea. I'm at a loss of what to do. Most of the supernaturals in the city have some inkling of who is here. It seems your secret is out.
Should we seek to handle this matter not only as a part of our court, but as a member of the Tarot Council, that they keep their silence as well?
We would have to have a tarot council.
Yes, they have not met since November, to my knowledge.
Wait. Britt, would the interior construction be complete by now?
The interior structure will be the interior structure will be done next month.
Next month?
I don't know if this matter can wait another month, especially considering the information that Ms. Becker brought to me about a certain former problem of this court. But we will address that in time, I would assume, since we're not finished with this business.
Yes.
I didn't say anything in character about the...
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I heard it in character. I'm sorry.
No.
I'll retract that.
Well, that would be something that would have to be brought up with the other members of the council. I heard a rumor that one member of them is on the moon.
Yes.
Well, I know this one. Jason told me, she's got real intelligence to remember what he told her. I think I got it.
Yeah, you were told it was Arthur.
Yeah, Arthur made a deal with Luna, and he's on the moon until we get rid of Celeste.
Oh, so any time now. That's coming from Mask.
Also, did he mention the samples?
Yeah, he probably would have said something about it.
Oh.
About how he would definitely warned everyone that Trebuchet's being a shitty fucker, like shittier than usual.
Okay, she'll mention that Nick Trebuchet gave the technocrat samples of the, infected last samples.
I didn't get it. I got barely any of that, Kim.
I'm sorry, I can't hardly talk right now. You tell him.
Yeah, she said that Adriana would have informed the court that Nick Trebuchet has given the technocracy samples of the infected.
Come again?
I mean, that's what Jason told me.
So, the technocracy got access to So wait, they got access to samples of the infected, and I wasn't allowed to have anything. How am I supposed to help solve this?
Uh, Luna destroyed the samples in exchange for Arthur staying on the moon until we get rid of the list.
Okay then.
Well, this is all very important information for the domain and the city. Can we get back to the matter at hand here?
So right now, I got a character. I'm just so tired. I'm sorry.
Miss LaBelle is doing her own version of the head desk maneuver, which is just pinching the bridge of her nose and lightly shaking her head. The whole discussion.
Mr. Johnson, as you so aptly put it, you are responsible for the actions of your clanmates. And so I would see it fit that you would share in this
Really? I missed that? I can't
learning
believe I did.
experience, as it were. I admit I have been peeved about the lack of communication in my court, the lack of trust between our clans. I know we have not had the best encounters, what with the former prince and extra. Yet I see no reason that we cannot work together in mutual understanding. However, your clanmate did lie to my face. You did lie by omission. By my courtesies, you put the person you were supposed to be protecting in even more danger. Had I found out and this situation not been handled, he would have been blood hunted. But the clan, as of late, has been useful. I would think that warning the both of you would be sufficient. Miss LaBelle?
If you wish, my prince, and she'll jot it down.
I would also request, Miss LaBelle, that a minor status ban be put on Clan Tremere as a whole until I can be determined that they will not lie to me and that they will not put my domain in any more danger.
She'll furrow her brow a little bit because she realizes this decision is technically on her shoulders on yay or nay on that one. Right.
Johnson's gonna rip another willpower.
Yeah. And she'll say, I would see this compromise as fortuitous because I do not wish double dipping. That I will accept the status ban, but Clan Tremere may offer you and myself a major boon and expunge the status ban from the record.
And my seneschal, they lied to him as well, if it was one by omission.
Very well.
Is that accepted to you, Mr. Johnson?
He'll just smile. Well, my opinion doesn't really count now, does it?
It does if boons are being exchanged, now doesn't it? Both parties have to be amicable to the situation.
I do not wish to see this stain on a so far. She wouldn't use upstanding. So far, a active member of our court But nonetheless, there was a great affront made to the tradition of hospitality and to the prince and to her seneschal.
Very well. I will offer a major boon to both Harpy LaBelle and to Prince and Emmy Becker on the agreement that all status ban is lifted on my clan.
Then it is so.
And to my seneschal?
And to your seneschal. At the same time, I'm requesting a blood boon placed on Adriana Ramirez. That shall be paid if the blood of Etrigan is etiquette. If the blood of the individual that is hunted is spilled.
I don't know what a bloodline is of the character.
Basically, you'll owe him either...
Something that would cause you physical harm and lose blood.
Yes. It's a favor that would cause you to be injured in some way, but it can also be repaid if the blood of the person hunting the gargoyle is spilled as well.
But it is conditional based upon if anything does happen to the person being hunted.
Okay, yes,
It's a good. You should accept.
okay, yeah.
Good. I hope we can put this matter behind us. I would like there to be peace, civility, and trust in my domain, especially in these harsh times. I don't need secrecy and lies when I'm dealing with everything else.
Understood. If you'll excuse me, if our business is concluded, I have certain preparations to make.
Of course. And you may let your companion know that he is found acknowledged in the city and he has my hospitality.
Thank you, my prince. At this point, Johnson will walk out before he has to spend any more willpower.
Now I do see we have a new face in Elysium.
The keeper will walk.
Matterton, was it?
Keeper will walk forward and motion for Tristan to stand up.
Then he folds, he closes his sketchbook and sets it, real carefully, sets it with his other books and manuscripts to the side. Stands up and he walks forward, gives a formal bow. He says, "Indeed, I am recently arrived to your fine city. My name is Tristan Alexander Matterton. Transferred here to the university from Oxford.
Yeah.
Of Clan Toreador."
I see. I hate to ask, there's no affront meant to you, but we have had some troubles recently. I take it you are of the Camarilla, an upstanding member, yes?
Indeed.
You said you were transferring here to the university, so I take it business brings you to my domain?
Well, I'm a military historian, and given this particular region has had a history of conflict, both ancient and modern, it's an opportunity for me to study those both through the lens of mortal and kindred viewpoints. It's astonishing how many of these conflicts and power struggles are incited by kindred behind the scenes.
See. Well, if that is the case, I see no reason not to grant you acknowledgement and hospitality in my domain. Do be aware we do things a bit differently here, as there have been major threats to this city. We currently are working with other supernatural groups to relieve ourselves of the technocratic horde. And so I would endeavor you to be cautious when feeding. You may not know who you're feeding upon. We have neutral territory at the Emerald Mother, and now, as I've been made aware, a club named Indulgences, where preferred drinking habits are always on tap. I'm sure that you can find your way there if need be.
I'm certain if it's a popular place, I will have no trouble locating it. I am, after all, a toreador.
Be careful of the Fae. They tend to enchant people without their asking permission first.
Mask will speak up. They've gotten better about that. They just have an issue with a baron of theirs being a colossal tool.
Yes, I have heard. Although their, what was his name? Dartmouth saw fit to enchant me. Just the other night, in fact.
Do you want me to bring a complaint against him towards the Tarot Court?
No. He was apparently new in town, didn't know of our agreements. I'll let go this once. No use
Very
starting
well.
more fights with the Fae.
Nod his head. We should probably inform him about the other big situation going on in the city.
Ah, yes. We do have a bit of a problem with a, Sabbat, right? Or independent.
That would be just one tip of 2 or 3 different icebergs. He was actually referring to Celeste.
Yeah, the infernalist stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
We do also have infernalists here. Major one being Celeste and her brother, who I've yet to meet. We also apparently have demons helping us. It's a weird situation.
He'll kind of perk up at that and he'll say, "Oh, I stumbled myself into a religious war."
As it were, Miss LaBelle will speak up. There's also, I don't know if you classify it as a religious matter, but the technocracy is another longer-standing problem in the city. They seem to have their own. I would see it as a religious imperative to remove the supernatural community from this city. It is why we are working with the other supernatural groups.
And Mask will speak of this. And there's also the Sabbat Archbishop running around. And he's brought friends.
Don't they always?
Yeah.
Oh, what happened to the good old days when you could simply challenge a opposing officer to a duel and that was the end of it?
People became cowards. More willing to fight behind the shadows than face somebody in combat. In any case, as long as you're careful and you make some friends, I'm sure you'll do fine here. Although do be wary, I've had some troubles with certain members of your clan not actually being members of your clan.
That was Brewhall that he was pretending to be out of character, Julia.
What?
Are you talking about Will's character?
He called himself Torio.
Brewhall was the one that was established as he was pretending to be.
Yeah.
First time he talked to me, it was Toreador, and then it was Bruja. That's why she was so upset.
Gotcha. I never got the Toreador one, just the Bruja.
Same here. At that point, Mask will pick up. Are you talking about Adrian?
Adrian,
He was pretending to be very many things, if I recall. First a kindred, even though he was a ghoul, then an anarch, then a member of Clan Bruja, and
yes.
this is the first I've heard of him claiming my clan as his home.
Oh yes, it was quite unprecedented.
If you are not already bloodheaded, I'd suggest having him bloodhunted.
It would be a good suggestion.
Out of character. Is he Julia?
Yeah.
Okay, I
She
just
said
wanted to
that
make
if he ever
sure.
came back into her domain, that he would be bloodhunted.
Gotcha. I just wanted to make sure.
And he threatened her life.
Yeah. In front of people that actually like her.
Which are few and far between.
Not as few as you think.
What did you say,
Maybe-
Tiger?
Like is kind of a strong term. Maybe tolerate, respect.
Grudgingly respect, kind of.
Yeah.
I respect how bitchy you are and kind of tolerate it.
Yeah, Adriana's okay with it.
You have financial power that could literally ruin me for life, so I'm not gonna piss you off.
And legal. And bureaucracy and police.
Anyway, that guy's safe.
So,
There'll be a formal issue.
if you have any questions, I'm sure the esteemed Harpy will be able to assist you. And of course, I am always available if anything needs my attention.
And I'm available if she doesn't want to handle it herself. Mask will just kind of flippantly say that.
Thank you, Seneschal. She'll fish into her pocket and hand over a business card. You can always reach me at this number.
Well, thank you very much. It's a shame to hear that there are so many dishonorable sorts in the city, but should my blades be of service to you as well, I can be of aid there. However, my true forte does lie in research and tactics.
It is always welcome. Well, if we have no further business to discuss, I do have other matters to attend to in the domain.
I would like to request permission to establish a permanent haven. I have been temporarily residing in a storeroom at the university, but I do not see that as a viable long-term solution.
Just, when you find a place, let me and my Harpy know. We'll tell you if it's acceptable, and I'm sure it'll be no problem.
Very good. Thank you very much. I appreciate the courtesy, and again, if there's anything I can do for you or your esteemed establishment here, please let me know.
Oh, before we close court, there is a thing you can do for me. As Harpy, those duties tend to take up my time fully, but as I'm the only member of this clan, I was having to do double duty, as it were. If you could take over the Primogen seat for me, I'd greatly appreciate it.
That is something that I can certainly handle. It's a position I have had at least some indirect experience with back in England. So
Then consider it so.
he'll give a formal bow and then withdraw to his seat with take out his sketchbook again.
Well, I'm glad this evening has gone smoothly. Have a good night, all. I'll be around if you need anything else from me.
Everybody that's an NPC that I control will bow.
Likewise.
She'll nod her head back and sweep out of the room, a little less angry.
Mask will remain behind in case anybody needs to talk to him or needs to set up any meetings with the prince. You hear Samuel, the Malkavian Primogen, just laugh off to the side and then hold the teddy bear up in the sky. Or hold the teddy bear up over his head.
Samuel, are you alright?
Oh, yes and no. Mostly no. Or is it mostly yes? It's hard to tell sometimes.
What is wrong?
I saw fire. I saw green fire. And the teddy bear couldn't help me. It couldn't help me.
Rachel will walk over to him and put a comforting hand on his shoulder and say, yes, many of us have been having these nightmares recently. It will pass with time.
But I can't tell. Are they nightmares or are they portents? I can't tell. I just can't tell. Does the D-Man need to show up?
Is the who?
The D-Man. The one who's in the wind.
No, he does not need to be summoned here.
Does he know? Would he know? Would anyone know? And he'll just shudder and he'll actually go a little catatonic, rocking back and forth, muttering to himself. By the way, for those of you, because I can't actually give a good description of Samuel, he does have the child flaw, so he looks like he's about 10 years old.
I would make you speedy as fuck if you did it, but
Okay.
Right, so is there anything else we can do in the scene, or are we good to go?
Yeah. Does anybody need anything else? Talk to any of the NPCs?
Sweet. I think we can go ahead and close up the scene.
Okay, I'll open up another scene for anybody that wants to actually do something tonight. I don't have any plot planned besides the usual nightmares bullshit. Unless you've got something planned. Let me go ahead and stop the broadcast. Thank you, players, for playing. We actually have some watchers, so thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another edition of Hong Kong House Cards. Just remember, Camarilla Politics don't kill you, the people behind them do.